It's another early morning show at the Traverse City Insane Asylum. Mwah. And welcome back to another early morning Sunday show. The show that just keeps coming back, and there's really seems to be no stopping it, even if you tried, because it just keeps coming back every Sunday, every single Sunday. Next Sunday, though, I'm going to be in Boston. We're flying out on Wednesday. Patty's sisters live there, cousins live there, aunts, uncles. You know, pretty much most everybody on her side lives in Boston. We don't get there that often. And I don't know why, but hey, she wants to go. We go to Boston. That's fine. We don't want to go. We don't go to Boston. So we're going to go there on Wednesday and come back next Sunday. But there'll still be an early morning Sunday show. I just trying to figure out the timing of it because our flights are like 5:30 in the morning, which is fine. I'm up. She's not, but I'm up. I'm ready to go. So, hey, but we will have one of those. I'm excited to, I love Boston. I think it's a beautiful city. They don't drive well there, let's face it. For those in Boston, Rob, you guys, you just don't drive well. You don't. It's kind of suicidal on those highways, but it's okay. I don't drive well either, so I kind of fit in. So, yeah, that's what we're going to have going on. I'm pretty excited about that. Take a little bit of vacation time. Today, we're brought to you by Satellite Records in Kalamazoo, Michigan. That was, if you missed on, I did a Thursday show, a record store tour of Satellite Records. If you missed that, check that out. Really cool looking store. And their story, I'll bring with that later. But yeah, so neat. It was a neat store. A lot of stuff on those walls. Cool stuff. But I want to begin with some customer service. And a few months ago, I bought On the Corner. But I asked, there was a MoFi, and it was through Napbutter Records on Discogs. This is who I ordered, Napbutter Records on Discogs, and I'd ordered, it was a MoFi on the Corner. Well, when it came, it was a reissue of it, and so I wrote, I just said, hey, there was a mistake. I ordered, it was supposed to be a MoFi, and I got it this one. I says, this is great, but I would really, can I return this so I can get the MoFi? And the owner writes back and says, I apologize. We're, keep that, and I'm going to return your money. Well, okay, you know what? I'm fine with that. And I'd asked, if you find one, I would still like to buy one. And he goes, I will find one and I will give it to you for free. I go, whoa, man. Now, and I said, I'm not asking for this because I wasn't. I mean, I don't expect that. Mistakes happen. They do. And I work retail. Mistakes happen. And he's given this to me for free. I mean, that was very, very cool and very generous. So, and, he got a hold of me a few times and said, hey, I found one, and it wasn't quite good enough. Just the other week, this comes in. A On the Corner Miles Davis MoFi, never been opened. Sealed. He sent it to me. These aren't cheap on Discogs. I mean, it's not the most expensive of the Miles. They're not cheap. He found this and he sent it to me. When we buy online, we never know, right? Sometimes there's good Discogs vendors. There's ones that aren't so good. I've been, for the most part, lucky. I have never seen in my life anywhere this kind of customer service where I refunded the money for a MoFi that I'm buying. I keep this reissue, and then they send me one. He said, I'm going to make sure it's a good copy, it winds up sending me a sealed copy. And I'm just really blown away with Napbutter Records. And, you know, I'm going to show this here. It looks like they have 3 locations here in Long Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Los Colinas. www. Napbutter Records. In this world, when you get superior customer service, we should always take time. You know, it's easy to bitch about places. And often, again, this is just from my retail experiences, we don't always praise superior customer service. This was incredible, superior customer service where they admit we're wrong, we're sorry, we're going to make do, but we're not just going to make do, we're going to go up, above, and beyond. So, Napbutter Records, you know, if you're on Discogs and you're looking, you know, look them up. I'll just tell you right now, they're honest, they're good, and blown away by them. So, yeah, 2 on the Corners. I love that album, and wow, man. Who expects that kind of stuff? We're going to begin with, this is right up there with my favorite album of 2021 so far. I have Madhu Maktar, love that one. Moby Reprise, huge on my list. This one's competing with them. It's a new group called First Boy on the Moon. Isn't that a cool album cover? It's so neat. And it comes in blue vinyl. First Boy on the Moon is from Malmo, Sweden. They formed in 2019. This is their first album. Last year, I actually featured a single of theirs. David Pendroza. He is the vocalist and the guitarist. And he's from Huntington Beach, California. Obviously, he thought the winters in Huntington Beach were a little rough. So he moved to Sweden, where winters are just beautiful. Actually, Malmo isn't as bad. It's toward the bottom. Better winters in Malmo. And he formed the group there, First Boy on the Moon. The group has, there's like an 80s vibe, but it's not. Think of Velvet Underground, 3rd and 4th album, VU and Loaded. How Lou Reed penned these beautiful type pop songs with these wonderful lyrics. There's that feel to it. There's some songs where you might come up with The Cure, others a little bit Bowie. And then it's just its own thing. And I'm actually going to do 2 samples from this album because I am just so excited and delighted about this. I think I'm changing color. Look at that. Oh, yeah, it's the way the light is. Cool. All right, sorry, I digress. Okay, so the group itself, First Boy on the Moon, is named after a song that he wrote. His son was having a tough time at school, and so he wrote this song, and he titled it First Boy on the Moon. And his friends liked that song and go, man, that is a great title. You should name a group after that. And so he did. And so, you know, and again, so they formed, a couple years ago in Sweden. This song, it starts off with, there's the second song, Straight Up With You. It's just this rocking song. It just takes off. It has this wonderful hook to it. Absolutely loved it. There's a song, the next one's called The Truth. Beautiful, chimey type guitar happening. Then there's First Boy on the Moon. That is an earworm song. In fact, last night, it just, in my head, as I'm trying to sleep, the damn thing kept popping up. The moon, the first boy on the moon. It just kept coming back and back. It is beautiful. The vocals are absolutely gorgeous on it. And the drumming, the drummer is wonderful. I don't, a lot of times there's just backbeat, which I'm fine. I like that hypnotic rhythm. He has a lot going on. It's just great. The hook is an earworm, man. It just sticks in your head. There's side 2 begins with Grim Reaper. It has almost like a Cure-like feel, and it's definitely darker. And then there is oh, what was it? If This Isn't Love. And when I heard that, I kind of thought Cars type feel to it, but not the Cars. Just incredible. This thing is just, I have played this so much. I just blown away by this album. And it's really limited availability right now. In Malmo, there's a couple places, and in descriptions, there's a little arrow thing underneath my screen. You can hit that, descriptions, what's going on. I want to kind of put where you can find it. It can be found in California right now. It's in 3 stores. Vinyl Solution, Radiation Records, and White Rabbit. And, again, getting a hold of them, sure you can get this. And I'll put down their Facebook on there too. And, you can write to them. I'm just, wow. This thing is beautiful. It is an absolutely beautiful album. Is it, if you like them hard and rock and like that, and screamers, you're not going to like it. But if you like beautiful music, well-written music, stuff that's just, it's gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous. Incredible. I'm blown away by this album. It's been playing and playing and playing, and it'll continue to be played. I won't put that one away. So, great stuff. Taking it right back to the sun. Someone said, well, you're full of heart. One second. There we go. It's a plug. Okay, it's like a commercial. And I do have Folgers in my cup. Damn good Folgers. Next, it's a twofer. 2 more Baby Woodrose. You would think, wouldn't you about have all the Baby Woodrose? I'm probably getting close to it. This is the 2nd album, and this is their 3rd album. Baby Woodrose out of Denmark, 60s psych, garage rock. These albums do just, they don't fail. They keep it going. Great stuff from a wonderful group that I'm a favorite of. Super cool green vinyl on there. Excuse me. So this is Money for Soul. This is this came out in 2003. Was their 2nd album, and they were a 3-piece band: guitars, an organ, and a drum. There's a song on here because with Honey Dripper, and I'll play you a sample of that. And by the way, everything's always blocked. Well, I just can't monetize anything, but the samples are worth it for you. This, it's fuzz drenched. It just incredible. Just the amount of, it's just such a rocker. There's a song Carrie, and the vocals are almost like the Turtles. The Turtles made some psychier stuff, but their vocals were so good, and that's kind of the feeling that I got off of that when I heard it. What was I'm trying to think. Some of these songs on here. All I can tell you is the organ is just nuts in some of these. It is so 60s, so psyche. It is just fun. I mean, this is fun stuff. It puts a smile on your face. It just rocks. It just hits you in the head and say, man, let's go. Let's make things happen. And it's just 60s garage rock fun. Just such a good album. Then there was this third one, Love Comes Down by Baby Woodrose. And I think that's taking a tab of acid. I'm sure some of you can tell me that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. Because Baby Woodrose does have drug influence. Okay, Black Vinyl. This third album, again, wonderful stuff. Gatefold in there. Yeah, that's pretty neat. This came out in 2006. This was 2003, 2006 when this came out. And there's what do we got on here? If I'm trying to remember. All Over Now is one song, and when I look at that, it just has this kind of a mid-60s type of a riff happening, but it's more of a blues feel. It kind of slows down. It has just a tinge of blues going on, and yeah, it was pretty, but yet still there's this kind of a fuzzy garage and it rock kind of thing going. Actually, what the blues one, oh man, I'm not sure. What you're going to do? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, that was what you're going to do. It leads off with the more bluesy one. They all Over Now. That one's just crazy, freaking mind-blowing fuzz guitar happening. I mean, whoa, what the hell's going on? No Other Girl is a song on here. It actually slows down, and you don't hear that a whole lot from then. It's a moodier song. Less fuzz, more like a shaven face. It just very, very nice. There's Christine on here, and Christine, it's like a dance floor stomper. I mean, and it's just this vibrating, fuzzy bass. It's just great. It really is. It's just so good. There's even, where is it? On some of these, you have this growing younger, the harmonies. And these guys can harmonize. It's bird-like, like from the Birds, not like birds singing in your tree. It's like the group, the Birds. And it just has that feel. Both wonderful albums. Love these two Baby Woodrose albums. It is a favorite group. There's no doubt. I love this group. When I think psych, I think, Baby Woodrose is where I go.
Got to find myself a finger liquor. Got to get myself a mojo bone. Honey dripper. Want to set me free. Honey dripper. Want to let me be your honey.
Then, this came from a Vinyl Me Please. We have Lee Morgan, Take 12. This came out in 1962. And off Jazzland. What's interesting on this album, Lee Morgan, he had a short life. Born in 38, died in 72. Girlfriend shoots him. It happens. We all have girlfriends that might shoot us at times. Probably. I don't. And Lee Morgan had a bad heroin problem. And from mid 61 until late 63, he went dark. He disappeared. Didn't do anything. But in 62, suddenly this came out. He put out an album. And it's the only album in this couple-year period that he put out. But oh my, what an album. This is fun. It begins, there's a song, Raggedy Ann. It begins, and it is fast paced. The bass and the drums, it's just going. It just propels and it pushes this music. I mean, we're talking frantic, shooting through, but so melodic. And then suddenly it stops and goes into a 4/4 swing. Just boom, 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 and just boom. It's like someone yanked the brake, and then it blasts off again. It is so neat. I'm going to play a sample of that. You can hear when it goes quick. It is just the pianos. Boom, 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 boom. Love that song. Waltz for Fran, just a beautiful number. It has this, it's just like a sensitive type piano going on, and Lee Morgan, his horn has just a beautiful sweet tone to it. And then there's like Little Spain. It is so tuneful, but everyone's soloing is beautiful. This is just incredible. Lee Morgan's on the trumpet, Clifford Jordan sax, Harris on piano, Crenshaw on bass, Hayes on drums. Wow. I just, what a great album. This thing, if you see it, I said, Vinyl Me Please Classics, it came, and I love Lee Morgan, and this just, even in the midst of his heroin addiction, he knocked out a home run. Oh, my records fell. Ooh, big surprise. The Wipers. Bought this a while back. I'd shown one Wipers. I went and I bought another one. This is Youth of America. It's a 2-album set. They take, the second album has outtakes on it. The first one, they're both like that, kind of that smoky, gray, whatever. Wipers from 77 they formed, broke up in 89, formed in 93, broke up in 99, yeah. Punk, post-punk, alt-rock. The guitarist's name's Greg Sage. In 7th grade, when he was in 7th grade, he already had his own machine to cut records. And that's what he did. That was his hobby. He loved to cut records. He liked to see how the grooves were made. He liked to see how sounds did this. He had a microscope and he's looking and see how sounds affected this. Wow. Hey, what do you want to do? Let's cut a record. Yay! I'm liking baseball, but okay. It was his passion. And when he was 17, it was 69, he heard Jimi Hendrix. And then he decided, I need to play guitar. And so at 17, he began to learn to play guitar. Well, eventually they formed the group Youth in America. They had their first album, which I showed a few months back, very much punk. Then out came this. This was their kind of saying, you know what, punk, their songs are too short. There's not enough substance to them. And so they made longer songs. And, in fact, Youth of America is over 10 minutes and just kind of meanders around and does different things. They're out there experimenting. The vocals at times still are screaming like punk, like ferocious punk. You have that feel on the vocals. But the instrumentation, I was covering his face. That's not... I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But the instrumentation was just, really, it was fun. They're trying new things. They're coming out, doing their own stuff. Much more complex. So at times, there's these synths going on and they're almost hypnotic. But yeah, really, really good stuff. It's a great album. I really enjoyed it. It was the Wipers' second album where they're really expanding on how they're making music. So well worth looking into.
taking so long. It's taking so long. It's taking.
Then we had Malo, meaning bad, and Malo is, I'm pronouncing that right, damn it, and I know it so. San Francisco band, formed in 71, broke in 74, formed again in 81, still going on. Thinking Latin, rock, jazz, blues, it's kind of all in there with this group. Known to have Jorge Santana, Carlos's brother, as the guitarist. I mean, they've gone through a billion different people in this group. This is their, I believe this was their first album. Yeah, their self-titled album. Wonderful stuff. It is, they formed from two groups, Melibus and Naked Lunch. They have a full horn section like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, like Chicago. 12 people were playing in this band. That is some powerful stuff happening. There are actually one song on here, Suavecito, I guess. It's kind of it's a slower, a little more ballady, but not quite ballady. What made it interesting is Sugar Ray. You remember the group guy Sugar Ray in the 90s? He had that song, Early Morning, came out in 1999. He used the refrain from that song on his, and it became a really big hit. For these guys, it went to number 18. This is just, I mean, there's searing guitars in here, but it's just this full horn section. And it has just a great Latin vibe. Santana really got things up and running, and this thing's great cover art, really good stuff. I love Malo. I just, great group. It's just a compilation we're going to show here real quick. It's a punk compilation, Troublemakers. It's a 2-album set, and there's different like B-sides and outtakes from different groups off Warner Brothers. They don't tell you what the groups are. Well, there it is, I guess. I'm sorry, they do tell you. A little bit about all the groups, but there is on here the Sex Pistols, Urban Verbs, you have Robin Lane Chartbusters, there's Wire, Marianne Faithfull, John Cale, Gang of Four, Devo, Public Image Limited, The Bugle, The Buggles, Nico, Modern Lovers. I mean, it's not really their hits. It might be B-sides, it might be alternative takes, but just a fun punk compilation that came out that I bought in just absolutely beautiful shape. So there we got it. That's this week. Appreciate you stopping by. Next week, live from Boston, home of the American Revolution. Sorry, all you people from England, but that's the way it is. Everyone, I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, you think about it, you want to look at Napbutter Records, quality service, and we must always talk when someone does us right like that. Praise them. Thanks, everyone. Bye.